the most important election in America. You know what I'm talking about. It's the New York mayor's race, the one that will affect the whole country. We all need to be tuned in on this. Oh, I'm just kidding. Zohran Mamdani, the front runner for the Democratic Party here. He's been making the media rounds. He's been pretty much everywhere. A really, in my view, a very smart media strategy of going anywhere and everywhere that people will listen, even going on Fox, that sort of thing. This last week, he went on comedian, podcaster Andrew Schulz's show, Flagrant. Had a great time over there. Let's play a clip.
I also think this idea that like New Yorkers are going to flee because of a 2% increase, it's like, I've been everywhere else. You're not going anywhere. Bill Ackman's not going nowhere. He's going to be in the Hamptons all fucking
There's
summer.
only one place to write those tweets.
That's it.
New York City.
Exactly.
Every character you want.
Your AC goes out in July in Miami. You sweating writing tweets? There's no way.
He's spending more money against me than I would even tax him. Every day it's like $1 million. It's like $1 million. I'm like, Habibi, I don't even want that. You're going above and beyond.
Okay,
That's
Pretty funny there. Bill Ackman, quite a guy. Is he really spending that much money to try to defeat Zohran?
Apparently, but it's so fascinating how Zohran is able to just turn that on its head, and how he's able to thrive, really, John, in any media environment. He does Fox News. He does really well there. He's able to do MSNBC. He does really well there. He's able to do the Andrew Schulz podcast, and he charms all of those hosts who, have been lumped into the, the manosphere that helped Donald Trump get elected. Well, Zohran is over there, and he's charming the pants off of them.
Yeah, it's kind of funny too, because I think the thing that's sort of unique about Zohran in this race, in my view, has been that the attacks that have come against him always seem to sort of fall flat or just blow up in their face. The New York Post this week, did you see this story? They ran this front page piece that really made the rounds, going after him, saying that they had caught him in an obvious lie. Post 9/11, Zohran Mamdani had previously said that his aunt had hid the fact that she wears a hijab in public. But the Post nailed him. They found out that it wasn't his aunt. Couldn't have been. In fact, it was his father's cousin. Boom! We got him. And and this was everywhere. And look, if anybody knows anybody who is from any immigrant community, I have many aunts. I have many uncles, by the way, who are not like my pure aunt and uncle. Like all of my parents' friends were like my aunt and uncles as a kid.
That's how it is for me. All of my, I don't know. I'm just like, I'm an uncle to people that I'm technically not an uncle for, right? I'm an aunt. Right. I'm not aunt. But I have many aunts. I have many uncles. It's just sort of a shorthand for that person is,
right. You're literally Uncle Ollie to my kids. Sorry, sadly you're not my brother by blood, but it is how it is. And they went after him with this story, and all that it did was really provide this like really embarrassing attempt to attack him. And this just gets to the heart of, I think these established places are very worried. These corporate owners like, Rupert Murdoch, who owns the New York Post, they're using this to go after him, to portray him as like this totally, crazy left. Fox is calling him a communist, which, come on. I guess he wants to have free buses. It's clearly communism has overtaken America's largest city. But we're right now at the finish line of this race, right? Tuesday is election day. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think he's going to pull it off, or?
Yeah, he's going to win. I think he's going to win, and it's all due to his media strategy from the get-go, which was understanding how to do social media. Most people initially in the city saw him on TikTok or Reels or YouTube. He was very, very good at that, and he's been able to translate that media savviness on social media to also these big platforms. And anytime he goes on, even if it's in the lion's den with like Fox News, he does very, very well. And I think this is actually a lesson for the Democrats that they need to learn is throw out the scripted politicians, right? The people who just like collapse when they don't have a talking point in front of them, and start talking to the American people like actual people, right? Just have conversations. And that's what he's been doing this entire campaign. He's been having actual conversations. People view him as authentic. And I think, all due to his media strategy that this 34-year-old assemblyman can take on someone like Andrew Cuomo, who is backed by all these billionaires, who has the name recognition from the get-go, who had the money behind him, and had a long career in government. And Andrew Cuomo is getting beat by a 34-year-old who's really good at social media, but also just engaging with the current media landscape as it is. And I think that's why he's going to become New York City's next mayor.
Yeah, reminds me a lot of Barack Obama's rise out of nowhere as a, quote, community organizer. And all that did was ignite the right with Fox News and others to just absolutely freak out over it. And I think that overreaction, all that actually ends up doing is giving him, even more runway and even more eyes to say, like, what is this? Why are these people freaking out?
Look at the biggest stars in the Democratic Party right now. They are all doing something on social, but also just engaging with the press in a different way. It's AOC, right? Definitely one of the top stars. Obviously, Zohran. Bernie Sanders, who is older, yes, but does these podcasts, engages in an authentic way, doesn't rely on talking points. And then I think you can throw in Gavin Newsom there too, who's doing a lot of interesting things, suffice to say, on social media. He's also engaging with the press. He goes on Fox News. These are the biggest stars in the Democratic Party because of the way they engage with the media. And the people like, Hakeem Jeffries, who go in the traditional areas and can't answer basic questions. I mean, it was like, I think, honestly, easier to pull teeth out of that man than to get a Zohran endorsement out of him. Like, those are the people that are actually flailing right now, the Chuck Schumers and the Hakeem Jeffries, who struggle in this new media environment and really don't come across as authentic.
So if you were a campaign manager, let's say, and you're looking at a media strategy in 2025, would you put your candidate on Fox News or on a right-wing podcast, or like legitimizing them in the process? I mean, they obviously have audiences, so in some ways that ship has sailed, but would you do it, or would you, take a different circuit?
I don't know if there's a good answer to that question. I do think, though, that Pete Buttigieg and Zohran have shown that if you come equipped and you just talk to them, like normal people, it really dismantles their arguments and it diffuses them in real time. And I think that to some extent is valuable. Now, he obviously, and they've gone on shows that are less in the propaganda side of things, right? They're not going on Sean Hannity's show, although I guess Gavin Newsom is. But I don't know. I mean, I think that's an open question. I think it was valuable for Zohran to go in there and show that he can take the heat, that he can go in the lion's den. I think that's what he gained from that. I'm not really sure he gained any voters, but I'm not really sure. I don't know if there's a good answer, John. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think you're gaining any voters on Fox. That's my view. I think you should do them. I don't think you gain any voters on there. But the social media clips, which is effectively what this is all about, where they go and live online, those moments, I think, can be either reinforcing or persuasive, right? That like you're not afraid of anybody. And like in many ways, this is the view that people have of Charlie Kirk in the wake of his death that they've really continued to praise, which is that like he wasn't afraid to talk to anybody. He would debate anyone. And that's what America needs, right? It's like we need more talking to both sides. And so I think that there's a lot of value in that like if you think you're an independent thinker, you're a moderate, you might be attracted to a candidate who's like not afraid to shy away from his biggest critics or those who might attack him. Take it head on. I think Donald Trump is actually shown as a good example of that in many ways, that like he'll talk to anybody. He may savage, credible journalists in the process, but he's willing to take them on at any time. And I think in 2025 now that this is so normal, that this is what we just expect, that it's going to be much more combative and less, I don't know, polished and gentle like in years past. Like this is the sport of our time in many ways.
Thank you for watching Power Lines. For more analysis and insight, subscribe to our YouTube channel down below, like this video, and you can watch more of us right over here.